Let's be real, moving to a new state is a challenge for anyone. But when you're a parent of a child with special needs, it can feel like you've been handed a complex puzzle with no picture on the box. So, if you're new to Tennessee or thinking about moving here, think of this as your guide. We're going to lay out the entire support system from those very first days all the way to adulthood, so you know exactly where to turn. Let's dive in.
First off, let's just acknowledge something really important. The life of a caregiver is, well, it's a lot. It's a constant marathon of advocating, scheduling, and just pouring out emotional energy. And that's not just a feeling. Research actually shows that the stress hormones are on par with combat soldiers. So if you feel that intensity, please know it's real and you're not imagining it.
But here's the thing I really want you to hear today. You are not starting from scratch here. Tennessee has built an entire ecosystem of support that's designed to partner with you. You absolutely do not have to figure this out all by yourself.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with those critical first steps for babies and toddlers. Then we'll walk through the big state programs, figure out how to build your local support team, and then, super important, we'll talk about planning for a secure future as your child becomes an adult.
All right, let's start at the very beginning. You know, those first 3 years of a child's life are just so foundational. And Tennessee has a fantastic program designed specifically for this crucial window of time.
The main entry point for early support is called Tennessee's Early Intervention System, or TEIS as you'll hear it called. It all kicks off with a simple referral. And here's the key part. Anyone who has a concern can make that call. You, a doctor, a family member, you don't need some official diagnosis to get the ball rolling.
So what is TEIS exactly? Well, it's a statewide system that provides all those therapies you might need, physical, occupational, speech, you name it. But what really makes it special is the philosophy behind it. The support comes to you. Services are delivered in what's called your child's natural environment, which really just means your home or their daycare, places where they already are. It's all built around your family's life.
And for a lot of families, getting access is actually pretty streamlined. If your child has a known condition like Down syndrome or cerebral palsy, for example, they're automatically eligible for TEIS. That's huge, because it means you can skip a long evaluation process and start getting help right away.
So once you're in the system, you'll work with a team to create something called an Individualized Family Service Plan, or IFSP. Just think of it as the roadmap for your child's early development. And please remember this, you are the most important person on that team. Nobody knows your child better than you do, and that knowledge is what the whole plan is built on.
Okay, so what happens when your child gets older than 3? Well, the support system grows right along with them. Now we're moving into the world of Tennessee's major state programs, and these are often built on what are called Medicaid Waivers, which are designed to provide long-term support.
And this is where things can get, well, a little confusing, right? You start hearing about all these different programs, some of them have similar names, and you're just trying to figure out, okay, which one is for us, which one fits my child's age and diagnosis? Let's clear that up.
Okay, here's a quick look at the big 3. First, if your child has an intellectual or developmental disability, you're going to want to look at ECF choices. Now, for adults who have mainly physical disabilities, there's a different program called Choices. And then there's the Katie Beckett waiver. This one is a real lifeline for kids with complex medical needs whose parents make too much money to qualify for regular Medicaid. It basically bridges that gap.
Now, to give you an idea of just how significant this support can be, look at this number. For an adult with the highest level of need in that ECF Choices program, the annual funding for their services can be as high as $108,000. That can cover everything from in-home care to therapies to job coaching. It's a really deep commitment to that person's quality of life.
And this isn't just about numbers, it's about real life. Listen to what Laura, a mom in West Tennessee, said. The Katie Beckett program helped them get a safety rail for their stairs and a new power wheelchair. I mean, these aren't small things. They're about safety and independence. And it's support for families who felt like they were completely on their own before. Okay, so state programs are kind of the backbone of the system, but your day-to-day life, that's all about your local network. So let's talk about how you build that team of support right there in your own community.
This is where it all comes together. We're talking about finding great therapy providers in your area, and there are tons of them. You might look into specialized schools like the King's Daughter School. And then there are community partners like Family Voices, who do this amazing parent-to-parent mentoring. Plus, don't overlook smaller pots of money like the Family Support Program or respite vouchers that can give you direct financial help when you need it.
And if you're looking for a central place to find information and get connected, the Tennessee Disability Coalition is it. They are a huge partner for families all over the state. Seriously, their website is one you're going to want to bookmark.
All right, the next chapter is one of the biggest transitions your family will ever make, getting ready for adulthood. And this takes some real planning, legally and financially, to make sure your child is secure long into the future.
Now, this next part is incredibly important, so listen closely. The moment your child turns 18, the law sees them as their own legal adult. That means all the rights to make decisions, medical, educational, financial, everything, transfer from you to them. And that happens regardless of their disability. If you don't have a plan in place, you could suddenly find yourself without the legal authority to help manage their care.
So you basically have two main legal paths to take here. The first is a power of attorney, or POA. This is where your child willingly gives you the authority to make decisions on their behalf. For this to work, they have to have the mental capacity to understand what they're signing. The other option is a conservatorship. This is a court process for individuals who don't have that capacity. It's much more restrictive, but for some families, it's absolutely necessary.
And now, let's talk about money. This is another one of those things that can really trip families up. If your child inherits money directly, let's say $50,000 from a grandparent, that could push their assets way over the $2,000 limit and kick them off essential benefits like Medicaid and SSI. The solution is a special needs trust. It's a legal tool that holds money for your child without them technically owning it. This preserves their eligibility for all those programs they rely on.
Okay, wow. We have covered a ton of ground, from the time your child is born all the way through adulthood. Let's pull this all together and talk about how you can take that next step with confidence.
So if you remember anything, remember this. 1. Start early, get connected with TEIS. 2. Know the big waiver program so you know which path you're on. 3. Build that local team. That's your day-to-day lifeline. And 4. Plan for adulthood. Get those legal and financial pieces in place before they turn 18.
So we'll leave you with this question. Now that you have this map of resources, what's the very first step on your family's path? Look, you don't have to figure it all out today. And if you need a little help just identifying that one first step, there's a fantastic free resource called Stella, the Special Needs Concierge. You can find them online at askstellanow.org. They can help you sort through your options and connect you with the right people. Just take that first step and know that there is a whole network here ready to walk with you.